Getting a bad credit mortgage with a 5% deposit can be tough, but it's not impossible. In today's lender review video, we're going to be covering another mortgage lender who can potentially lend you a bad credit mortgage with just a 5% deposit. So let's dive right in. Today we'll be covering the mortgage lender West One Loans and their 5% deposit range. But before we do that, like we usually do, let's ask ChatGPT who West One Loans are. West One Loans is a UK-based specialist mortgage lender that focuses on providing residential, buy-to-let and bridging loans. They are known for offering tailored solutions, especially for borrowers with complex circumstances, such as those with adverse credit, self-employed individuals, or those seeking non-standard financing options. I would have to agree with that summary. West One Loans are one of our most commonly used mortgage lenders when it comes to arranging mortgages for first-time buyers with bad credit and just a 5% deposit. So now that you know a little bit more about who West One Loans actually are, I'm going to share some information with you that I pulled from their website earlier on today that just shows you some of the key features from West One Loans' Premier range. And in case you don't know, the Premier range is the only range that allows you to apply for a mortgage with a 5% deposit with West One. So some of the things that it says here, we have no credit scoring, and it says each case is assessed on their own merit. So like you've heard me say before, this is something that I really like, because what West One is saying here is they're not going to necessarily say your credit score is too low and you can't have the mortgage. They're going to look at this on a case-by-case basis. It also says suitable for borrowers with minor credit blips or historic credit issues over 36 months ago. We're going to cover more about that shortly. It says limited edition 95% loan to value available for first-time buyers. So 95% loan to value. This is basically an option where you can put down a 5% deposit, 95% mortgage, 5% deposit. And it's just well worth noting that the range that we're covering today, the Premier range with the 5% deposit, is only available for first-time buyers. And just a few other things to pick out on here. It says terms of between 5 and 40 years. So you could actually take this mortgage term over a 40-year period. Obviously, the longer you take it over, typically you're going to see the lower the monthly repayments, but that's then likely going to cost more overall. And it does say as well, the minimum age is 21, so you must be 21 years old to apply for this mortgage, and the maximum age you can be at the end of the mortgage term is 85. So now that we've got a little bit more information on the key features of the Premier range, let's go ahead and look at some of the specifics and the types of bad credit that they actually will accept. So on the screen now, you'll just see some of the bad credit that West One can actually accept in their 95% loan to value range, so their range with the 5% deposit. I'm not going to read through every single point, but you'll get the idea. So I think one of the key ones you'll see on here, it says no secured arrears in the last 36 months, and the account must be up to date. So what this is saying here is if you've had a mortgage or you have a mortgage, you're not allowed to have been late on those payments for the last 36 months, okay? That's basically what that's illustrating. It says here, unsatisfied CCJs and defaults accepted under £500. So if you maybe had a parking ticket and that was for £350, or a default, maybe a mobile phone bill that was £400, even if that hasn't been paid back, that's something they can potentially accept. It also says here, no unsatisfied CCJs or unsatisfied defaults over £500 in the last 36 months. So remember, if they're under £500, that's okay. But if they're over £500, as long as it's over 36 months ago, that potentially could be accepted as well. An interesting point here as well, it says utilities and communication. It says comms, it means communications suppliers. payment profiles are not taken into account for plan assessment purposes. What this is talking about here, a utility bill, gas, electricity. Communications means a mobile phone bill, a broadband account. That's what it's referring to. It's saying if you've been late on these payments or missed these payments, they will just completely ignore that. As long as it hasn't gone to a default status, or as long as it hasn't gone to a county court judgment status, because it just says here at the end in brackets, excluding CCJs and excluding defaults. So I guess if it's got to a certain point, it's not going to work, but as long as it's never gone to a CCJ or a default, and it's one of those accounts, you're going to be fine. Okay. It says here as well, unsecured credit with balances below £500 are excluded from plan assessment purposes, but will be reviewed for affordability. So for example, if you've been missing payments on a credit card or a loan, if that value is under £500, they're just going to ignore that, but they are going to look and say, you know, there is a debt there. Is that debt affordable? It also says here at the bottom, maximum total CCJ value is £5,000. So as you could see earlier in some of the points, they're basically saying here, unsatisfied CCJs under £500 are accepted. Those CCJs don't need to be paid back. But if you have over 10 of those, and they are over £500, that is then over £5,000. And at that point, they would say this is no longer okay because the accumulative total is over £5,000. One other thing I just want to point out, no IVA, DMP, debt management plan, bankruptcies or repossessions within the last 6 years. So if you have had any of those things within the last 6 years, they're not going to accept this application. And then the final thing that I will read out here as well, unsecured arrears accepted providing the account has not been subject to more than 1 month of arrears for a balance over £500 at any point during the last 12 months, and the account is currently up to date. So again, these are things like credit cards, loans, maybe mobile phone bills. So now that we've taken a look at a little bit more about who West One Loans are, a little bit about the key features of their Premier range, and we've kind of looked at some specifics of the bad credit that they will accept, I'm now going to move on and we're going to have a quick look at what the products, interest rates and potential fees might look like with a 5% deposit. So what we're looking at now is just a quick table of two key products here. We've got the core product and we've got the fee assist product. The core product has a product fee attached of £1,495, and that product fee is just simply there. It's a fee that the lender charges for arranging the mortgage. The fee assist product has no product fee on. You will also see there's a tab and it says valuation refund on the fee assist product, and that basically means if there is a valuation fee payable, which there sometimes is, they will refund that normally within 30 days of completion. Some of West One's products also have an application fee on as well of £199. On the fee assist product, they can also refund that within 30 days of completion as well. So if we have a little bit of a look at the different interest rate options here, you're going to see they offer a 2-year fixed rate, a 5-year fixed rate. These are very common products that most mortgage lenders will offer. And on the core range, they also have a lifetime tracker, which is a type of rate that is variable with no early repayment charge as well. So they've got a few different options there. The 2-year fixed rate with the product fee on, you'll see they're offering is 7.64%, whereas if you compare that to the option with no product fee, understandably, you'll see that is 8.29%. And that's because the one where they charge the product fee, they will offer a lower interest rate, whereas the one where they charge no product fee on, understandably, it's going to be a higher interest rate as well. If you're thinking, well, which option is going to be best for me? Which is going to be cheaper for me? A mortgage advisor will be able to advise you on what the most appropriate option for your needs are. And just as a quick comparable as well, you'll also see on both the core range and the fee assist range, they offer a 5-year fixed rate. One 7.69%, the other 7.99%. Obviously the higher rate having no product fee and the lower rate having the product fee as well. So there you have it. West One Loans 5% deposit option for first time buyers. Like I said, it's not going to be perfect for everybody, but if you do have some bad credit or you have a history of some bad credit and you have just a 5% deposit, then it could be a great option for you. And like I always say as well, all of the products, the interest rates and the features of the mortgage that we've been covering on today's video is only applicable as of the date that we created this video as well. So if you have any questions or any ideas for future videos, then please feel free to pop those in the comments below. Alternatively, you can send us an email and I will put the email in the description. So thanks for watching. Please make sure that you hit the subscribe button and you turn on the notifications for more tips on bad credit and all things bad credit mortgage related. And we will see you in the next video.